watched Senate races in our country. The battle for Pennsylvania's Senate seat between Dr. Mehmet Oz and John Fetterman. After weeks of fighting, the two have finally agreed to a live debate. And correspondent Kelly Meyer is live for us in Washington with those details. Kelly.
Well, Nichole, after weeks of debating whether there would be a debate, John Fetterman and Dr. Mehmet Oz have nailed down a date to discuss the issues in one of the most watched races in the country. But now that's opening up even more debate over just what this debate will look like. A lot of debating. Here's where things stand right now. It'll take place on October 25th, 2 weeks before Election Day, and it will air right here on NewsNation. The debate live in Harrisburg. It will last for 60 minutes, and for now, closed captioning will be used to accommodate Fetterman's lingering hearing issues after his stroke in May, and there will be a pre-debate practice or walkthrough. But there's back and forth right now between the two campaigns over some of these details. Oz laying out conditions he says Fetterman needs to agree to before Oz agrees to the debate. First, Dr. Oz wants a 90-minute debate. NewsNation is able to do that, but Fetterman's team says Oz is just moving the goalposts and that both sides agreed to 60 minutes. There's also debate over this pre-debate walkthrough. Oz saying Fetterman is asking for 2 practice sessions and that NewsNation should not ask questions that may resemble those asked on debate night, adding, quote, "We are totally fine with Fetterman practicing with the closed caption system, but not with Fetterman practicing his answers ahead of time in conjunction with the moderators." Now, Fetterman's team says Oz mischaracterized his plans for a pre-debate walkthrough, saying it is standard practice, adding that they don't know why the Oz team is, quote, "inferring that the professional people at Nexstar are a part of some grand conspiracy to give questions earlier." Fetterman's team says Oz mischaracterized the plans there, and we also have a statement from Nexstar, parent company of NewsNation, saying in a statement today, no candidate will get the debate questions prior to the debate. And right now, Fetterman has nearly a 9-point lead over Oz. That's according to our NewsNation Decision Desk HQ exclusive polling average. And now we just wait to see if both sides can get through these debate details so they can actually debate live here on NewsNation on October 25th. Nichole.
All right, Kelly Meyer live for us in D.C. Thank you. And the art of the debate in American tradition along the campaign trail, but debates appear to be on the chopping block. John Fetterman agreeing to just one debate against Dr. Oz. Of course, as Kelly said, airing live right here on NewsNation. But the debate about the debate seems to have just started. Michael Schnell, a reporter from our partners at The Hill, joins us live. So, Michael, both sides agreeing to a number of stipulations. Is that unusual?
Well, I think what's unusual about this situation is what the stipulations relate to. They all relate back to the stroke that John Fetterman suffered back in May, as Kelly noted, asking for closed captioning, asking for time to practice with that closed captioning, and then the Oz campaigning coming back and saying, well, we want to be able to tell the audience why and prepare for any potential delays that may cause. So while sometimes either sides in debates will request certain things, I think the requests that we're seeing in this specific situation, because they relate back to the health conditions of John Fetterman, and because it's not every campaign cycle that candidates suffer health issues like this, that's what makes these particularly interesting and particularly unusual.
All right, so Michael, calling these stipulations unusual, is there maybe a realistic scenario where one side backs out because these stipulations are not met?
I think it's definitely within the realm of possibility. As Kelly noted, the Oz campaign has requested that the timing of the debate be extended from 60 minutes to 90 minutes. The Fetterman campaign is not on board with that change. So it is possible that if the debate is not moved from 60 minutes to 90 minutes, and Oz is asking for this to have extra time in case the closed captioning causes any delays, it's possible the Oz campaign can pull out. It's also possible that the Fetterman campaign may pull out if their candidate is not prepared because of his health conditions. I will note, though, that the debate is on October 25th. 25th, as was noted. There is more than a month until this debate, and even a month alone in politics is an eternity. So plenty can change between now and then, but I definitely think it's within the realm of possibility that after all the wrangling and the debate for this debate, it's still possible that it may not go through.
All right, so let's say it does go through. Do you expect to hear any answers on key issues, or at this point, based on what we're hearing between these candidates now, is it going to be 60 minutes, 90 minutes of attacks?
I think it's possible that we'll see some policy and some real conversation on two issues in particular, and that's abortion and that's the economy and inflation. Democrats have really made abortion central to their platform this midterm election cycle after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. And it's become a particularly salient issue in recent days after Senator Lindsey Graham introduced a 15-week abortion ban on Capitol Hill. So I definitely think that the Fetterman campaign will be wanting to focus on abortion throughout this debate. But on the other side, I think the Oz campaign is going to want to be focusing on the economy and inflation. Republicans have really made an effort to make this election cycle a referendum on the White House and a referendum on President Biden. When it comes to the economy, just a couple days ago, we saw the stock market drop 1,200 points. New figures came out this month showing that inflation ticked up in August. So I do think that we will see some policy debate on abortion and on the economy. But if we've looked at what this election and what this race has looked like in the past couple of months, it's been a lot of attacks being slung from either side and a lot of mocking from either side. Just recently, we saw what people are calling the crudité controversy when the Fetterman campaign resurfaced a video of Dr. Oz grocery shopping to put a spotlight on inflation.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.